Is it possible that we could want a good life, a secure life, a financially stable life for our children so bad that we actually cause them to fail? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, Day 5 of Kedoshim, Set Apart Ones. Let's go to Vayikra, Leviticus chapter number 20, and read the first 5 verses. And they say, And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Say to the children of Israel, any man of the children of Israel or of the sojourners who sojourn in Israel, who gives any of his offspring to Molech, shall certainly be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. And I shall set my face against that man, and shall cut him off in the midst of his people, because he has given of his offspring to Molech, so as to defile my set-apart place, and to profane my set-apart name. And if the people of the land at all hide their eyes from this man, or he gives any of his offspring to Molech, and they do not kill him, then I shall set my face against that man, against his clan, and shall cut him off, and all who go whoring after him, even go whoring after Molech from the midst of their people. Molech is a Canaanitish idol deity, supposed, specifically of the Ammonite people. Remember, the Ammonites and the Moabites are basically genetically the same people, and they are near relatives to Israel through the lineage of Lot. They worshipped this idol god. This idol was set up in the valley of Hinnom, outside of the walls of Jerusalem, in the valley of Topheth. And there it was worshipped even by the house of Judah, the house of Israel. And it is debated as to how that this took place. It is involving somehow fire. The more acceptable version, if you want to call it acceptable, is that 2 giant fires were created by the priest of this idol, and one would make their child, their son or their daughter, to pass through the midst of the 2 fires. And it's debated as to whether the child was actually harmed or not. It could be that the fires were hot enough and close enough that there was scarring upon their bodies. It is also postulated that priests would create a ramp and a brick causeway over a pit of fire that a child would have to walk over, or there would be a gap, a chasm between the 2 paths, and a child would have to leap over the fire. Any of those means basically suggests that one would cause their child, through the element of fire, to be dedicated to a prosperous future by attaching them to this idol. The worst scenario that is oftentimes agreed to by Christian scholars and by some rabbis is that the god was in a hollow brass object heated up on the inside, and children were thoroughly sacrificed, being placed in the red-hot arms of this god. I won't go into detail. Either way, in all of these aspects, it was common that loud drumming, chanting, and music would be played to drown out any cries of pain and suffering that one would go through. However this was done, for whatever reason that it was done, it is especially repugnant and detestable in Yah's eyes, yet it seems to be very attractive to the eyes and the imaginations of his own people. When we go into chapter 20, not only do we read about these potential rituals and so forth, if you go over to the book of Jeremiah in chapter number 7, it says here that Yah did not order or think about these things taking place. When you go down to verse 30, the children of Yehuda have done what is evil in my eyes. They have set up their abominations in the house which is called by my name to defile it. They built the high places of Topheth, which is in the valley of the son Hinnom, to burn their sons and their daughters in the fire, which I did not command, neither did it come into my heart. In chapter number 19, it says here that they have built the high places in verse 5 to burn their sons with fire for ascending offerings to Baal, which I did not command or speak, nor did it come into my heart. Dedicating children painfully so to achieve either the appeasement of the God for themselves or to ensure the prosperous future of their sons or daughters for them. It has often been likened and correlated with the abortion industry, which is horrific in its own right and its own practice. And I don't need to go through details on that. Again, the set-apart mind struggles to understand and perceive and properly process why anybody would do any of these things in ancient culture or in our own. It's unthinkable. It's inhumane. It's insane. It's insanity. But we have conditioned ourselves to not only accept it, but to politically and sometimes even religiously fight for the right of one to practice the aborting of their future generations for the immediacy of their own convenience and more comfortable lifestyle. We can carry signs. We can stand outside of such facilities and pray. We can call our Congress people. We can protest. We can do a lot of different things. But unless Yah changes the heart and the nature of our nation, these things will continue. But one does not have to go to such extremes. I'm going to try to be careful here. When we sell our children out in the pursuit of a prosperous future by overly dedicating them to sport activities or to the pursuit of education or whatever we train our children to become fascinated, dedicated, fully engaged in, it may be, I want to raise up a star athlete or a collegiate mind, or I want to make sure that they have a good and solid future because they have learned to accomplish so much in whatever field that they pursue. If first and foremost we're not teaching, training, and equipping them to follow after the heart of Yeshua, we're out of balance. And in the pursuit of a secure future, we may be setting them up for failure. That's just a thought. Not against sports, not against intelligence and education. We have to keep it in balance. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. I appreciate so much your support, your encouragement, your comments, liking the videos, hitting the subscribe button, sharing with others on social media. May the presence of the King abide with you in this Shabbat and give you encouragement and set apartness. We'll see you again next week. Until then, Shabbat Shalom.